Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's lesson. Today, we are going to talk about how to read and understand job advertisements. This topic is very important, especially for all of you who are approaching graduation and preparing to enter the job market.
So, why is it important to learn how to read job advertisements? Because learning how to read a job advertisement can make your job search much easier and more effective. Okay, instead of applying to many random jobs, you will be able to identify opportunities that match your skills, your qualification, as well as your interests. And this means you can focus your effort on positions where you actually have a better chance of being selected. There are several benefits when you know how to analyze a job advertisement. Okay, first, you will be in a better position to customize your resume and cover letter according to the job requirement. Second, you will be able to determine which jobs truly suit your skills and career goals, which we have covered in the previous lesson. And when you understand job advertisements clearly, you are also more likely to perform better during job interviews. Why? Because you already understand what the company is looking for. Okay, and finally, studying job advertisements can help you identify weaknesses or let's say gaps, okay, gaps in your resume. So you know what improvements you need to make. Now let's look at how to read a job advertisement properly. Now, the first thing you should do is identify the advertiser. Ask yourself, is the advertisement posted directly by the company that is hiring? Or is it posted by a recruitment agency, for example, on JobStreet, LinkedIn? Okay, so you need to identify that first because sometimes companies outsource hiring to recruitment firms. Okay, so the advertisement may not come directly from the company itself. Number two will be to note the company. Okay, try to find out more information about the organization by asking questions like, do you know the company? How big is it? What industry is it in? Does it have a good reputation? Alright, doing a quick background check can help you decide whether the company is trustworthy and suitable for you. Next, you should review the job title carefully. Sometimes the job title may sound impressive, for example, the word manager or they use the word executive. Okay. However, the actual job duties may not match the title. So always check the responsibilities listed in the advertisement if there is any. Okay. The fourth thing will be for you to also scan the job duties carefully. If the description is very vague, meaning it's not that clear, it may mean a few things. For example, the company might not have a clear job scope yet, or they may simply, be exploring what kind of candidates are available in the market. Okay, because sometimes what you need to know is that companies also keep descriptions general because they do not want to reveal too much information about their business strategies. Another important step is to identify what the company is looking for. What you can do is for you to pay close attention to the words used in the job requirements. For example, phrases like you must have or you need. It usually indicate mandatory requirements. By hook or by crook, you must have this requirement. Otherwise, you are totally not qualified. Okay, if you do not meet them, then your chances of being shortlisted, will be very, very low or maybe non-existent. Okay, on the other hand, words like preferably, preferred, ideally, or desired, it suggests that the requirement is flexible. If you have it, it will be better. If you don't have it, it will be okay. It will be just fine. And this means you may still apply even if you do not meet every single preference listed. So understanding these differences can help you decide whether it is worth applying for the job. When you carefully review a job advertisement, you can match your skills with the job requirements more effectively. And this helps you save time because you only apply for jobs that are relevant to your abilities and qualification. Okay, and it also allows you to write stronger and more persuasive cover letters because you can clearly explain how your skills match the company's needs. And in addition, you will feel more prepared during phone screenings or job interviews since you already understand what the employer expects. Now, let's think about where we can actually find job advertisements. Okay, today, in this day and age, this modern day and age, there are many different platforms where companies advertise job opportunities. And as job seekers, it is important for you to explore multiple sources instead of relying on just one. All right, so what are my options? Okay, what kind of platforms are available? So normally people would depend on the first option, of course, which is online resources. So among the most famous one in Malaysia, of course, you rely on all of these websites. Okay, these are recruitment websites that are normally outsourced by the company, okay, to advertise their positions. For example, in LinkedIn, JobStreet, JobsDB, Mau Kerja, social media sites, and the company official website. Another platform that is used to be very, very reliable will be offline resources. Okay, things like newspaper or even your own personal inquiries by calling or giving a call to the actual company and okay, inquiring about a job position. Okay, however, of course, in this day and age, we do rely heavily on online resources. Okay, now that we understand how to analyze job advertisements, let's move on to the next part. In the next section, we will look at several real examples of job advertisements. And while examining these examples, try to identify important information such as the job title, responsibilities, qualifications, and application instructions. All right, let's have a look at this first example. This is an actual advertisement from Malaysian Institute of Estate Agents. All right, now I would like to highlight, okay, if you get to see the heading, which says immediate vacancies. Okay, there are certain ways for companies to signal to you whether or not it will be easy or it will be difficult when you want to apply for the role. Certain companies, they put out the word immediate vacancies. Okay, there are several reasons for them to do so, so you have to kind of be careful. Okay, what does it mean when they say immediate vacancies? Okay, one good thing, it's probably easy for you to get the job, but again, you need to think, why is it easy to get the job? Was there any problem or any issues at the company? Okay, so these are among the things that you can watch out for. Okay, let's have a look at one of the positions available. Let's look at the education and training executive. If you see the requirement, okay, they use the word minimum 2 years of working experience, although it is not specific enough, but okay, the word minimum signals the fact that that is the requirement. If you do not have minimum 2 years of working experience, you are not eligible to apply. Okay, same goes with the word possess. If you get to see the last point there, possess own transport and willing to travel. So the word possess here, it means a compulsory requirement. If you do not own your own transport, you cannot apply. So there are certain signal words that will mean something, whether or not it is a compulsory requirement or it is an elective, okay, requirement. Okay, and if you get to see the requirement, okay, once you are eligible to apply. Okay, you can go into the instruction. Okay, how can you post your, or how can you submit your application letter, and when is the due date. So please pay attention to those, okay, so you don't miss anything out. Okay, let's discuss this particular advertisement. Okay, this particular advertisement is advertising two different positions. One will be site engineer or site supervisor, and one is site safety supervisor. Let's have a look at the first one, site engineer or site supervisor. Now, certain advertisement, they do highlight, okay, the location of the job. If you get to see next to the title of the position, you have the word or the location, Tanjung Manis or Ulu Rimbas. So that is probably where you will be working if you got hired. Okay, now let's have a look at the requirements. Okay, if you get to see the second point there, minimum 3 to 5 years relevant working experience with exposure in design and construction site activities or road works. But then again, if you look into the fourth point, fresh graduates or junior engineers are encouraged to apply, which is a bit clashing because just now you asked for a minimum 3 to 5 years, but then again you say fresh graduates are encouraged to apply. Okay, normally fresh graduates, they do not have 3 to 5 years working experience. So it's a bit confusing there. Okay, therefore, if you come across points like this, what you can do is that you can clarify with the company itself. Okay, what do they mean? Okay, right, and look into the second position, site safety supervisors. Okay, so this particular position, they actually highlighted what are the job duties. Okay, so if you are able to do that, or if your previous experience had you doing all of these things, okay, you guys can apply. Okay, right, and then of course read the instructions on how you can actually apply for the job. Now, before you start applying for jobs, there is something very important you need to remember. Okay, studying job advertisement is also important because it helps you identify genuine job opportunities and avoid fake ones. Therefore, before applying, always do a quick background research about the company. Okay, by checking their website, their social media presence, and whether they are recognized organization, and always stay alert and be careful of job scams. These are just something that I like to share with you all, okay, for you to be aware of, okay, on how you guys can identify what are job scams, okay, what make them job scams. So if they fulfill all of these, they are job scams, okay, so please be careful. All right, this will be for your homework this week, part of your homework. So I want you to search online for a job or internship advertisement that is relevant to your own profile, okay, your own course or your own qualification, okay, and choose one advertisement that you would be interested in applying for, okay, and identify the following, okay, and I will look at your chosen advertisement when we return to our physical class. Okay?
That brings us to the end of today's lesson. Remember, understanding job advertisements is an important step in finding the right career opportunities. So take your time to study them carefully before applying. Happy job hunting!